In the previous video, I gave an explanation of A and B. So AND is the intersection of the two, and A or B is the union of the two. So it could be here or here or here. So now I'm going to give you these explanations. So for A dash, so that means not A. So if you have A, B here, not A means anything on the outside of A. Not on the inside, but on the outside of A. So A dash means everything on the outside. So now let's look at this one here. Hang on. So the second one, let's look at your two sets, A and B. So it says not B. So this is B here, this is A. Not B is everything on the outside of B. Outside of B. And intersect, so this is and A. So it must be A, it must be inside of A, but outside of B. So really in your mind, think of B, not B would be everything on the outside of B, everything on the outside of B. So this is bad because it's inside B, everything on the outside of B, and A. So it must be inside A. So really the only good region would be this one here. This region here. Okay, so this region here represents this. So now let's look at the third one. So you've got two sets, A and B, and this one not A and B. So not A, in your mind picture everything on the outside of A, and it must be B, it must be inside B. So inside B would, well, it really means this region here. It's inside of B, but it must be outside of A. So it's the intersection of the two. So let's start again here. Outside of A, everything on the outside of A, and inside B, it must mean this region here. Okay, so let's look at the fourth one. Fourth one would be two sets, A and B. So now this one here, not B, so everything on the outside, so this is B, remember, everything on the outside or A. So whether, so A, in your mind, picture A, everything on the inside of A, and then now let's look at this one on the right hand side, not B, but remember it's or, so it's the union of the two, so it really means this, because it's or, it could be in A or outside of B, so really it's everything except from this bit here. Okay, so now let's look at the fifth one. So the fifth one, draw our two sets, A and B. So now not A, so in your mind picture everything on the outside of A. And remember it's or B, so this is B here, or B. So now picture inside of B. So it's outside of A or B itself, so which means it's everything except from this region here, so it's everything on the outside here, except from this bit here, because if you're in this region you're inside of B, and also the union of everything on the outside of A, so it must mean everything on the outside of A. So next one. Now let's look at this one here. So these two are actually the same. Let's try and understand why they're the same. So let's look at the left hand side first. They're actually the same, and let me illustrate why they're the same. So this is A, this is B. So not A, so inside your mind picture everything on the outside of A, or the union of not B, so picture everything outside of B, and it's the union, so it's the overlap of the two. So basically everything would be good except from this bit here. So let me illustrate this again. Hang on. So we're looking at this bit here. So hang on. the union. So you know it's going to be it could be this or this. So this is the union here. So everything on the outside of A, everything on the outside of A. So all these regions are automatically good. Now let's look at outside of B. Outside of B, so this is B here. Outside of B is everything on the outside of B. So really, this is the only bad region here, because we want everything outside of A and everything outside of B. So it's everything except from this middle bit here. Okay, and that turns out to be the same as this. So let me try and illustrate the right hand side. So the right hand side, so two sets, A and B. So now let's look at this one from this perspective as opposed to this one here. So you've got to find the intersection of the two. So this bit here, intersection of the two, A and B. So it must mean this region here, because if you're from here, then you're in A and B. So this bit here inside the brackets would mean this region here. But then it says not that region, everything outside of that region. So it could only mean everything on the outside of that region. Everything on the outside of that region, which turns out to be the same as this. So you can either look at it from this perspective or from this perspective, and they both mean the same thing. Okay, so now let's look at the last one. So the last one, two sets, not A and, so and the intersection of the two. So not A would be everything on the outside of A and outside of B. So you're looking for the intersection of the two. So outside of that and outside of B. Outside of B. So hang on, let me think. Outside of B. Outside of B. So that would mean hang on, let's do this again. Wait that. So it's the intersection of outside of A, outside of B. So hang on, A, B. So everything on the outside, and remember it's the intersection of the two. Outside here, outside of A, and outside of B. So it cannot be in B. So it's really everything outside of B. So it's really everything on the outside of the two. You really need to think about this, but it means this. Hang on, it means this. A, B. It means everything on the outside here. It means everything out on the outside, because if you look at this, outside of A, so outside of A would be everything on the outside. It cannot be this, because on this side it must be outside of B. Outside of B. So it turns out to be this, if you think about it. So looking at this, outside of A, but then it must be and outside of B. Outside of B. So it turns out to be everything on the outside of the two here. Everything on the outside. And this turns out to be the same as this. So let's look at it from this perspective. They're both the same, but now let's look at it from this perspective. So A, B. Now it's saying the A or B, so that means this thing here. So that means everything on the inside here. But then it says outside of the two. So it must be everything on the outside here. So these two are actually the same, but just they're the same. You can either look at it from this perspective or from this perspective. Okay.